Welcome, everyone that can hear the sound of my voice, to this week's edition of the Petty and Ill-Informed podcast, where we venture out petty and ill-informed opinions about a variety of topics. Joining me is Tom. Tom, how are you?
Yeah, doing all right. Actually, I'm doing all right.
Kevin and Nikki won't be joining us this week. They're off doing OnlyFans content.
Hopefully not with each other. Where is Kevin? I haven't heard from Kevin for a little while.
He's back in Ireland, and he doesn't stay up this late.
Oh, well.
Well, he's in Ireland. He won't be
doing it. Yeah, it is quite late for most normal, sensible people. It's only pellocks like us who choose.
Hello? Okay.
Yeah, I've got a few bizarre stories with which to entertain you with. So you're welcome to bring on the abuse.
Let's start with something Nikki brought up, and then something Gabby brought up, and then we'll get to your stories. Okay, so
go for it.
How do vegans feel about pitcher plants and Venus flytraps?
How do we feel about what's the first plant?
Pitcher plants.
What are they? What are they? Are they ones that sort of, I would imagine they're sort of like Venus flytraps. They're insect devouring. The ones that put fake nectar in, or have ones that harvest insects basically, or tempt them in and then have slippery slopes so they can't get out and dissolve them in their own sort of bizarre.
Yeah, that's exactly what a pitcher plant is. Yeah.
Oh, right. So and then it's all they can't get out, and I think that's how do we feel about them? Well, it's what they do to survive. They don't have any choice in the matter. It's perfectly natural, and perfect. It's just part of the cycle of nature, and all credit to them. Good luck to them. Why not? Nature is as brutal as it is wonderful. I mean, some of the things in nature are absolutely terrible and ghastly. I mean, all those those wasps that lay their larvae in caterpillars.
Human wasps.
Yeah, those ones. They lay their larvae in caterpillars and they burst out. I mean, it's properly exactly like in Alien. I mean, Alien's clearly inspired by these sorts of things. I mean, there's all kinds of ghastly things. Well, I say ghastly in inverted commas. There are all these things that, are not. Nature is not all bunny rabbits hopping around bloody fields. There is a brutal side to survival of the fittest. I saw this one where then David Attenborough's documentaries don't shy away from this. I can't remember if this was on an Attenborough or not. But I saw this one where there's this massive great termite hive or ant hive or something like that, and there's this wasp that gives off the same pheromones as ants, so it's able to bust its way in without alerting the soldiers to its presence. And it finds the incubation chamber, and it lays its eggs inside a cocoon that's going to become a queen or something like that. And then when all these cocoons hatch, and I can't remember what species this is, I can't, because there's only one queen, but when all these cocoons hatch and everything, and all these, winged ants or winged termites or whatever it is that come out, if this wasp got to them, then the wasp has just devoured whatever was supposed to be gestating outside, and a bloody great wasp comes out. I mean, it's absolutely horrible in a way, but that's just nature. I mean, nature is brutal. There are orcas that will go there and hunt baby blue whales or baby, I don't know, some sort of species of whale, a grey whale or something like that. They'll hunt a mother and a baby until the baby humpback whales till the baby's
exhausted, and they'll jump on its back and drown it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, they'll do that, and that happens. But there's no getting away from it. I mean, the idea is that as human beings, we're of a level of intelligence where we can choose not to not to be involved in this sort of brutality if we want to choose to avoid it. And us vegans, we choose to do that.
So
as far as
vegans
possible.
still believe they're better than animals, just in a different way.
I don't know if better than animals is right. I don't have a big. I mean, I was for what it's worth, Richard. I was in a premiere in this morning, getting my son's breakfast together, and because he isn't vegan, I'm holding the lids of I'm at the buffet bar, the hot buffet, and I'm happily holding the lids up for the bacon and sausages so he can grab them and put them on his plate.
Good kid.
So-
I like your kid.
There you go. So I had no problem with that. You know, if he used to be a vegetarian and he chose not to be anymore and started eating meat again. So,
Delicious meat.
well, it does taste very nice. I don't deny it. Doner kebabs are bloody gorgeous. But but yeah, there you go. So yeah, does that answer your question?
It does. It does. Thank you for that. All right. So Gabby and the lipstick. Gabby was looking for chapstick online and she found this brand, and the bottle was a very interesting shape.
Okay. Rather phallic or something.
Incredibly phallic. Exactly like a silver phallus
Okay.
with the balls and everything.
Okay.
I can't, it's so bad I can't actually show the picture on YouTube because we'd get in trouble.
Okay.
But yeah, that's what Gabby's been up to. She found a type of lipstick that comes in a dick-shaped bottle.
Okay. And does she want our opinions on this or anything like that? I mean,
I already gave my opinion. I told her it gave new meaning to the word dick lips.
well, I don't know if I've got an opinion on that. I mean, they'll put a sexual dimension to anything if they think it'll sell more of it. You know, sex sells, and it always has done, whether it's something sophisticated or something incredibly crude.
I don't like it when they try sophistication. I preferred crudeness.
Yeah?
Yeah. I feel like sophistication is pretending to be better than it actually is. It's just like you're trying to pitch porn. We know it, you know it. Just have her in a bikini.
Some in terms of sophistication, sometimes there are very, very long words used quite unnecessarily.
Ugh.
I subscribe to the Week magazine, and I don't want to go all Orwellian and suppress language. I don't want the only words that are positive to be good, and double plus good. But they're on it. When I read the Week magazine, or we use the app now, every once in a while, there's a new word in there that I have to look up and I have to figure out. One of those was axiomatic.
Axiomatic.
Yeah.
An automatic axiom.
Well, axiomatic, when I looked it up, it meant obvious. It basically, it's a posh way of saying obviously or obvious. You know,
I might actually adopt that. That's pretty axiomatic of you, Tom.
Okay.
Tom, you're being so axiomatic.
So you've turned it into an insult instantly. Well, I can't say I'm surprised.
It's not an insult. It means obvious. I'm saying you're being obvious.
I'm being obvious by describing a word that means obvious.
Yeah, exactly. It's axiomatic of you.
Okay, fair enough. There were. I'm going to struggle to remember any others off the top of my head.
That's just a really dumb way of saying obvious.
Yeah, it is.
Which one came first?
What, obvious or axiomatic?
Yeah, because if obvious was the shortened version of that, I'd be like, yeah. Mind you, if we were all used to saying axiomatic, instead of obvious. And then obvious was the word that meant axiomatic. We'd think exactly the same thing because we were used to
We
axiomatic.
would, but obvious is a lot easier to say. It's 3 syllables, not 5. So, I mean, maybe there's inevitably a bit less pretentiousness about it for that reason. I don't know.
Oh, it doesn't mean obvious. It means unquestionable.
Well, have you just looked it up?
Yeah.
Well, it means it's similar. It means self-evident or unquestionable.
Right. Yeah.
But I mean, obvious
you.
is pretty similar to that.
Thank you, Captain Axiomatic from Gabby. See, in that context, it works. That sounds like a Marvel superhero.
Fair enough. Captain of stating the Captain Axiomatic, king of stating the bleeding obvious.
King of stating the bleeding axiomatic, Tom.
Okay. Okay. I can't think of any others. Why can I only think of that one off the top of my head? There's about 10
because
words.
It's clearly the dumbest one, and it got stuck in your head.
I have a list of them, but if I went, I keep a Google Docs of my phone of new words I've learned. But I think if I scroll away from this tab, I might lose the stream. I don't know if my phone would keep up with it.
The ridiculousness of the word is why it's stuck in your head. It's why, if I suddenly started using them words from Blackadder, that I'm phrasmotic to be hearing such pericombobulations.
Contrafibularities.
Contrafibularities. There you go.
Yeah. It's a common word, contrafibularities. It's a common word down our way. Damn. Oh, and of course, he forgot the word sausage in his dictionary and therefore made that word heresy.
Sausage! Damn your eyes!
Shall we explain to our listeners what the fuck we're talking about?
Nah, it's better when it's a mystery.
Okay. If you want to know what we're talking about, you'll need to look it up yourself. It's Blackadder, Season 3, Ink and Incapability.
Axiomatic came first, according to Gabby. It's Greek. Obvious is from the Latin. See, that's why Latin replaced Greek. Okay, that's a good example of why Latin replaced Greek.
Okay, if you say so.
She's usually right. She's quite bright.
Yeah. But yeah, she certainly is that. So, shall I start my list
Hold
of...
on a minute. I need to look at the list.
The list? What list?
The list. You sent me a list.
Oh,
so,
list of...
we're starting with flatulence. Go.
Oh, God. Right. Heaven knows what I ate last night, but it was not pleasant. And I was just on this escalator going down. And there was me and my 2 kids. And then about 3 or 4 steps back, there's this granny. And 3 or 4 steps back after that, there's my darling wife, Hannah. And I accidentally dropped one going down this lift. And I thought, oops. And then I thought, hang on, I think I know what's going to happen here. I turn round and there's the granny, straight-faced, as if nothing happened. And then suddenly... Hannah must have the escalator took her to my invisible cloud of doom I'd unkindly left her, and her face just turned and screwed up, and she looked at me. She knew it was me straight away. Just accidentally gave her a Dutch hand. Yes, I did. Accidentally gave her what you might call a Dutch hand grenade via an escalator.
Nice.
Yeah, that was just today. That was an accident, and yeah, but oh dear, that was funny. Okay. Right. Okay. So let's see what the next one was. Okay, the coconut. Should we try the coconut?
Yeah,
well, it was my planning time on Friday morning. So was that Thursday morning? So 2 days ago, and I wanted to eat something healthy rather than your usual bag of wine gums and packet of crisps and an energy drink that I normally have during my planning time. I thought, I know I'm going to be a bit less axiomatic, and I'm going to eat a coconut. And I just brought in this whole coconut that I bought in Aldi. And
You brought in a whole coconut to eat as a snack.
Yes.
That is the third most pretentious thing I've heard today.
Well, we'll get on to 1 and 2 in a minute. I didn't mean to be pretentious. I like them. They're nice. So I went. So it's, you know.
Yeah, but it's so attention seeking, isn't it? Like, imagine if everyone's just eating sandwiches and crisps and smoking and having a drink, and then you just walk in with like a pineapple and a coconut, slice them open with a machete, and you're like, pineapple, Terence, it's quite ripe.
Well, funnily enough, I have actually eaten an entire pineapple during a planning time, and I just gave myself a stomachache.
Jesus wept.
I have done that, but and the coconut. Well, I didn't bring in a machete. I went outside, and I found. I was going to just bang it on the ground, but there was a concrete ledge that just happened to be a bit, at perfect height, sort of waist height. I thought, oh, here we go. And so I started smacking this coconut down on it to start trying to crack it open. And then this guy came home and went, ah! And I went, ah! What are you doing? He goes, what are you doing? I went, I'm just trying to crack a coconut open. He goes, you what? I said, this is my snack. I'm trying to open this coconut. And then I smack it a few times. And quite conveniently, like a bit of shell came off just sort of round the top. And I've never had one come off that smoothly and cleanly, but it did. So, just as you would imagine, if you just scoop the top off an egg, but only remove the shell, it was like that. And I was like, oh, great. And so I sliced the top of this coconut off, tipped it up and drank all the milk. And then I carried on smacking the rest of it till all the shell came off. And then I gathered up all the kernel on a plate. I think I sliced, I just had a normal kitchen knife, normal table knife. And I chopped up the rest of the kernel, the nice bit that you eat, into edible chunks. And then I had the shell in one hand and my plate of that in the other. And I turned around and a whole crowd had gathered round me, basically. Quite a small one, just, 4 or 5 people. But they'd all stopped to watch me prepare this little coconut snack. I mean, I didn't think it was a big deal. I wasn't trying to show off or be a pretentious vegan or anything like that. I was just trying to enjoy a coconut. And in I went, but apparently that was worthy of a lot of people's attention.
It's funny that I jumped to that conclusion before you even told the rest of the story.
But yeah, well, that's what happened.
So you did something for attention and got attention.
I didn't want any attention. I just wanted to eat my bloody...
a whole coconut as a snack? Who does that?
Me, that's who.
Yeah. Jeez. Okay. Gigaminx is the next one.
Oh, yeah. Oh, this is annoying. I bought my latest Rubik's style puzzle I bought.
Yeah.
It's called a Gigaminx.
Right.
They are, you can look it up on Amazon. It's a dodecahedron with an extra layer of pieces on it, basically. It looks like it'll be quite challenging. I think I know everything I need to know to be able to do it. It'll just take a long time and it'll be an awful lot of fuss. It really will. It's going to be a lot of fuss and a long time to get this thing done. It really is. So I bought one and I treated myself to one for the Easter holidays to sort of, take a couple of weeks to get, mix it all up and then get to grips with it. And the bloody thing failed. I bought it, opened it up, and where they've rushed it through some production line, wherever it's been built, they've missed on some of the stickers. These stickers that mark the faces, just like they do on a Rubik's Cube. Some of them they'd missed a little bit, and they were a couple of millimeters out. And this was crucial. They were sort of hovering over the gaps between the moving pieces, not completely on the moving pieces. So I thought, no, it won't do. And I'm really annoyed because we bought this a couple of weeks ago and it's been sat in a cupboard and me waiting to look forward to opening it and open it and it's bloody no good. So I had to send it back. And we're on holiday, we're away from home, so we had to find an Amazon locker that would, we could return it into and take it. And I must say, they're very good, these Amazon lockers. I think they're really useful. You can get stuff, send stuff back and collect stuff from all around the country quite easily. But it's going to take a few days for to get a replacement one out. And I've chosen a replacement one that's a few pounds more, but it doesn't actually have stickers on it. It's literally made of different color plastic pieces. So I can't have that problem again. But yeah, that's really annoying. That really wasn't very entertaining, was it?
Why is that? So you've got a nice big puzzle you're looking forward to doing.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to picture a dodecahedron with an extra layer.
Right, you need to look up Gigaminx on Amazon.
Okay. I'm going to look this up.
Well, you'd look up a Megaminx, which I've got 2 Megaminxes, and I can do those. I know what I'm doing with them, and a Gigaminx is like the next level up in terms of challenge. If you compare the Megaminx
world record.
Oh, I wouldn't know what the.
I don't even want to know. Oh, all right, we're gonna. The world record for solving a Gigaminx cube is 9 minutes 48 seconds.
That, knowing what a Gigaminx is, that is remarkably impressive. The world record for a Megaminx is stupid. It's about 27 seconds. How anyone did that is utterly beyond me. It takes me 15 minutes. It was utterly beyond me.
I can do a normal Rubik's Cube in about a minute now.
Really? That's a lot better than me. I'm between 2 and 3 minutes, but I don't really go for speed. I go for like depth of understanding instead. I go for like trying to apply it to things like the Ghost Cube, or and expanding my understanding from a cube to a Megaminx and things like that. Rather than go for speed, because there are faster solutions than the textbook solution I know. Hence, the world record is under 5 seconds for a Rubik's Cube.
Yeah, I mean, but a normal Rubik's Cube is very simple. Once you know what you're doing, it doesn't take very long at all.
It does me. It takes me between. I think on a good day, when I do one without a single mistake, I'll be able to do it under 2 minutes. But I haven't done that yet. I always like mess up somewhere or get something wrong, or the middle layer when you put those side bits in. I did one of them back to front the last time I did it, and then I had to take that out and put it back in the right way around. So. And then I think I got myself in a pickle with the top corners and things like that. So, yeah. So there you go. That's what happened with my Gigaminx. It was just because the stickers weren't put on it properly. Just like when the machine came down to slam the stickers on one of the faces, the machine it missed by about 1 millimeter or maybe 2, and on a puzzle this small, that was proved crucial. And so there's no more. So I thought about soldering on with it or trying to. I even brought tweezers and a Pritt stick with me on holiday with a view to fixing all these pieces. But I thought, you know what, I just can't be bothered, and this isn't a good idea. I'm just going to send it back and get a better one that's, instead of having stickers on it to make the colors, one that actually has different color plastic pieces. So yeah,
can't it just be a pattern? Can't you just be like, the dodgy ones are this part of this color?
I don't know. Can you imagine what I mean if I say the stickers missed? They weren't quite in the right place.
So they're on the right cube. They're just in the wrong. They're just off to the side.
Yeah, just they're on the correct face. They were just not in the correct. They're just, the whole thing was just slightly off kilter.
Oh, right. I get what you're saying. You're insane. You're one of those people where everything has to be symmetrical.
Well, you can't really have stickers that are supposed to be on the faces slightly to the side, and
You said millimeters, so they're slightly off, a tiny little bit off.
With a puzzle this size, the millimeters are everything. 1 millimeter means it is off the edge of the face, hanging off into.
Look, I don't care what your wife tells you. A millimeter doesn't matter that much.
I could grab the edge of them with a pair of tweezers. Put it that way. They were off the side of the particular pieces. So that was enough.
That's like the old-fashioned way of doing a Rubik's Cube, anyway. Taking the stickers off and putting them back on again.
I've seen that so many times. I lent a Rubik's Cube to a kid in my class a couple of years ago, and he he was in the back of his car saying, "I've done this side, Mum, I've done this side, I've done this side," and just he gave this thing to me, and it was obvious straight away what this kid had done, because some of the sides were correct and the others weren't and were a complete mess, and none of the stickers were on it were like at right angles. They were all slightly skew whiff and wibbly, and it was I admired the attempt to pull the wool over our eyes, but he didn't fool me and he didn't fool Mum. Bless him.
Like, oh, bless you.
I let him keep it.
I'm going to have to beat you for ruining my Rubik's Cube.
I think I let him keep it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes, right. So what was it, Gabby? Oh, yeah. Gabby did an impression of you. Oh, I wasn't trying to make a thing about it. I totally just brought a snack that requires me to whack it and whack it.
Well,
yeah.
I didn't really think as far ahead as I would be cracking it open at the same time as the kids are all coming into school from transport, and so they're all walking past me with various adults while I'm making a racket, smashing this coconut against the wall.
You did this in the street?
No. I'm a special needs school, so they were within the school grounds, but most of our kids come in on transport, come in on special buses and taxis and things like that, all chartered by the council, and they're being helped into the school from buses that park within our school grounds out the front of the school.
So during this time, which presumably happens at the same time every day, you decide to go outside and whack a coconut against the wall of the school.
Well, not against the wall, against this. Very close to the wall, yes. This concrete platform that I don't know quite what it's there for or what it was doing, but it was there.
The only way that could have been funnier is if before you started you'd been like, "I'm really self-conscious. I hope nobody watches me as I smash this coconut very loudly in front of all these kids leaving the bus."
That's one of those things where people sort of say the opposite of what they really mean. Nikki and I have talked about this. One thing Nikki and I have both got in common: if anyone tries to do that around us, then we don't bite on it. For example, if something is clearly not fine, and you go, "Are you all right, mate? Is everything okay?" and they go, "I'm fine." We go, "Oh, that's all right then." We don't go, "Oh, no, clearly something's wrong. Clearly something's up. Please tell me what it is."
I'm sorry. Did you just attempt to educate me on my best friend of 20 years personality? Did that really happen? Because like I didn't already know. No, man. Nikki's totally suffers fools gladly. She's all about fools and the way they act. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, she's still friends with me for a start, so yeah.
You're not a fool. You're just a weirdo with... I just don't understand the coconut thing. You must have known that was like going to attract a lot of attention.
I didn't think that far ahead. I honestly did not do it deliberately to gain attention. I did it as a standard thing. I thought, oh, I always, so often, literally, the full extent of my thought process was, by the way, just quickly, I didn't mean to educate you about Nikki. No, I was just making an observation.
Yeah,
But
no,
anyway,
that's
back to the
like
bloody coconut. No, I just thought, so often I buy a coconut and I don't get round to taking it out the back door and cracking it on the concrete and actually eating it. I thought if I take it into school, then I have it during my snack time, then I'll definitely get round to eating this one and it won't go to waste. That was the full extent of my thought process. I really was not trying to, genuinely was not. I'd be honest if I was. And there are times in the past when I have done things to get attention, but this really wasn't one of them.
In my life, I have been on holiday to countries where coconuts actually grow. And still, I have never seen anyone smash a coconut open in front of me. It's never happened in my entire life. I've never been at school when we were having the school lunches and one of the kids has gone, oh, my fucking dad's giving me a bloody coconut again. Smack, smack, smack.
Well, I'll be sure to take one on our camping trip then, won't I?
Just a coconut. Who does that? What? I can't even.
Me, that's who. And I promise you, it was not deliberate. It was not for attention. I mean, I have more of an attention-seeking head about me when I choose what clothes I'm going to wear to school that day. I honestly, it's I like. I mean, well, hang on. They sell them in Aldi, so people must crack them open at home. I can't be the only one.
Yeah, at home. At home, yeah, absolutely. At home, I'm sure they've got special coconut opening technology. But who does that on the side of a school?
Me, that's who.
I'm sure people have got like the coconut equivalent of can openers, and they take their coconut home and they crack it open, as carefully as they can. They get the milk out, they cut the flesh out, and then they use the hollowed out coconut as a decorative mug. But what? It doesn't have. I've never seen. Nobody has ever gone into Aldi, grabbed a coconut, paid for it, and then gone outside and gone whack, whack, whack on the side of Aldi. Well, no, you wouldn't because of all the glass. You'd smash the glass. But
no, I don't know. I honestly, it just okay.
Just imagining them pushing their trolley around Aldi, just cracking it open on the trolley and having a nibble on it while they do their shopping. No one does that. No one does that. You insane weirdo.
Okay, fair enough. Well, I won't do it. I won't. Okay. If there's one person who taught me how important it is to know how things look, never mind how they really are, it's Gabby. So for Gabby's and yours sake, I will not take a coconut into school. The next time I want a coconut snack, I'll crack it open at home the night before, get the shell out, put the shell into a bloody Tupperware box, put it in the fridge, and take it out the next morning and take it into school ready done. Would that be more acceptable?
Yes.
Then that's what I will do.
Just the idea of imagine if it was Ofsted week and the inspectors are just coming out and you're on the side of the building whacking it with a coconut.
Well, in which case I would expect I wouldn't be surprised if the phrase vegan hipster douche actually made it into the final Ofsted report.
Yeah, the headmaster just turns to them and be like, I'm sorry, he's vegan. And they just nod. That kind of thing. All right, the final thing I see is great meeting Friday with your boss.
Oh, well, yeah, that I had I've had a really good few weeks at work. Actually, a lot of things have gone right, and I think I've probably told you about them as they've gone on. But no, a lot of things have gone right, and I had a really good meeting with my boss where basically I said, I've really feel like I've turned a corner this term. Since February half term to now, I've managed to meet all my deadlines. had 2 good lesson observations. I've got, you know, I'm on very good relations with, touchwood, pretty much everybody within school, as far as I know, anyway. And I just feel like, you know, a lot of my sort of fears and anxieties about, you know, how well I'm doing or how sustainable it is have really subsided. I've had a one class, the teaching assistants in there, they said that, you know, they would really love it if I would to be there. They all collectively said they would really love it if I would be their teacher, you know, in the future. Which was a lot. I mean, nothing against their current teacher whatsoever, but that was a really really good and kind thing for them to say, and that meant a lot. And so there's that really did. That was a huge vote of confidence. That was huge, and it's because the current teacher has just left. That's why that is. So that's you know, really special. And yeah, I just feel an awful lot of. I actually, for the first time since I joined the school, January 2023, so a year and a third. I really do feel like things, all the chips have fallen into place. Hopefully long term, hopefully sustainably, hopefully for good. But you know, there's still a ways to go, and there's still a lot of things that I will need to get better at. But it's like the glass has transitioned from being half empty to half full. It really does seem that way. And I had this meeting with. I mean, this is the same boss. So a couple of weeks ago, I did something well enough for him to say to me, "Don't you ever let me hear you doubt yourself again." And I said to him, "Well, you know, this, you know, hope I really think." Yeah, that's what he said. Yes, believe it or not, that is what my boss said to me.
I'm just imagining him giving you that pep talk and then looking up from his desk and seeing you smack a coconut on the side of the school and him shaking his head and going, "Oh, man. Really, really went to his head, those things I said."
Well, there's a difference between a personality quirk and a cause for concern, obviously. Yeah.
Which was the coconut thing?
I'd love to know what Nikki would think of this, because Nikki's described me as socially awkward at times, and this is probably a pretty good example, because I genuinely did not think anything of it. But I mean, it's probably because I've cracked so many coconuts open just out the back of my house that it didn't occur to me to. It genuinely did not occur to me that it was at all bizarre to be doing that to prepare my own work time snack. Oh, to the icing on the cake, I was eating it with such enthusiasm that someone else actually had to remind me to eat with my mouth closed in the staff room.
So after you get everyone's attention with the coconut stunt, you then sit there and munch on it with your mouth wide open.
Well, I wasn't doing it deliberately. I just heard this voice from across the room saying, "Are you enjoying that orange, Tom?" I went, "Oh, it's a coconut, but clearly I'm eating it. I'm making the sound of World War III or something." So I chomped on it very quietly after that, and really, really slowly. I mean, I'm the person who ate when I went to see Schindler's List in 1993 or 4 or whenever it came out. I was eating the crisps so loudly, and for such a long time into the film, someone did turn around to me and just go, "Shut up!"
Also, was disappointed by the lack of lists.
The lack of lists in Schindler's List.
Yeah, I imagine you're the kind of person that sent strongly worded letters in about the lack of lists.
No. I had a politics professor who hated the film, actually. He thought it was a massive excuse for genocide. He thought it was an apologist for genocide, basically, or something.
That film was genocide. What?
Well, he thought he didn't like the way that it made an excuse for somebody who was deeply involved in the whole thing. I think that was my professor's point of view. But he really used to say Schindler's List and just shake his head in anger and disgust. Oh, this was blimey! You talk about okay. We started with this talking about pretentious language, like axiomatic. This guy lived off pretentious language. Oh my days!
Oh no,
he was something else. You know the professors that go out of their way to use the most pompous language possible. Well, this guy was that, and he did it. He if anyone got away with it, it was him. He was a wonderful man to talk to face, but once he got up on that lecture stand, blimey, you needed your Oxford English Dictionary to hand big time. He did it to challenge us. He deliberately used the most sophisticated language possible to challenge us and to make us raise our level of thinking. And then let's face it, if there's the right place to use the most pretentious language possible, or the most detailed and intricate language possible, it's giving a lecture at a university. I remember him talking to us about hang on. I remember him talking to us about the epistemology of dialectical materialism.
The foundation of communist philosophy.
Oh, you know your stuff then.
You don't have to sound so surprised.
I don't think there's many people who wouldn't understand would link the phrase the epistemology of dialectical materialism to the foundations of communist philosophy, which is exactly correct.
Yeah, I know it's correct. I don't need you to tell me about dialectical materialism. It is quite axiomatic.
Clearly, I stand corrected.
I might actually clip that and do that as a short for an advert for the show. Oh, you know what that means, Richard. Oh, wow, that's impressive.
Well, does Gabby know? I haven't got the YouTube feed up. Does Gabby know that the epistemology of dialectical materialism is a pointer towards the ideological foundations of communism?
She's still on the coconut thing.
Right, Richard. I'm afraid that buzzing sound means I really have to go because I'm at a Premier Inn.
You're on holiday, mate. You don't have to make excuses. Just
okay. Well, thanks a lot, mate. Take care. It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure being so massively humbled by you yet again. Take care, Richard, and everybody, and I'll see you guys next time. Cheers, guys.
See ya.
See you all later. Bye-bye.
Fancy calling me out on the foundations of communist philosophy. Like nobody else here wouldn't know what dialectical materialism is. Oh, there's no one to talk to. It's just me. Okay, well, I'm going to wrap it up there, guys. Thanks for watching the show. See you all next week. We will return next week. Despite the hopes of many, it's good night from me. And, well, it's just good night from me. Night, everyone.